Well, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I was told that today is International or World Polio Day. So it's appropriate that I do a little video addressing that. As you know, most of you know, uh, I am a polio survivor and I deal with PPS, post-polio syndrome. If you wish, there's a good amount of information out there. You want to Google it on post-polio syndrome. So I would just share that a lot of us over time have referred to it as the lion. And over time, we learn how to tame the lion. And that is how I feel the lion polio, post-polio syndrome, the damage left by it, which can become worse over time, especially as we begin, to reach our 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Fortunately, I've known since I was a baby or a toddler, that I'd had polio, uh, that I was affected by it. It was rather obvious to me even then. I was 18 months old when I came down with polio. I was a very active toddler. I learned to walk. I was about 9 months old when I started walking. Really athletic. I climbed, I ran, I climbed trees. I terrified the adults when they were working on the roof doing some repair work by climbing the ladder and climbing up on the roof and walking right across the very peak of it. It was lovely. I was having a wonderful time. Really did scare my dad and his helpers off. But that's what it was. I was very active and I always wanted to be more active. I have trouble sitting still for very long. I want to be doing something, uh, taking a walk, taking a bike ride. I enjoyed playing baseball. Can't say I actually played basketball, but shooting hoops. Might not have been terribly good at any of it, and playing soccer, and we played volleyball, and I don't even know if it's around anymore, but tetherball. I enjoyed all that. Even though I would tire more easily, I had some discomfort. I had some difficulties all along that I was aware of. And as a result, I learned early on to take it easy when I needed to. And because I couldn't just sit, I would write stories. I would write them on paper. I would write them in my head. I would read books. I traveled via reading books. I probably read nearly every book, even ones that I was supposedly too young for, in my parents' very large library of books. But I was fortunate, although it affected my legs, my arms, and so my arms are weak, my hands are weaker, my legs are weaker, my ankles. I have some discomfort. I have a lot of the things that go on along with post-polio syndrome, including extreme tiredness at times, and I don't like that at all. However, many of us learn to make it live with us. And it is rather late at night. I am tired. This has been a good day for me. It's been a busy day. I would like to have done this earlier, but I'm just now having the time to do the chat. As I said, I was 18 months old. All of a sudden, my mother realized I could not stand up. I couldn't walk. I could not even get up on the footstool and pull myself up. I kind of tried. I couldn't do it. Um, I was diagnosed via a spinal tap at the hospital. And at that time, polio was going around. It was an epidemic in the States. So I was diagnosed with polio. I did recover use of my arms and my legs. However, you never really completely recover from polio, which is why I've become one of those who is, it's very important that children are immunized against it, that polio is eradicated as much as possible. There is still the wild polio virus out there. It still happens. So I think it's lovely that they're having a World Polio Day to draw attention to polio. Hopefully, a lot of attention will be drawn to it, to what it does to people. I'm just going to say again, I am extremely fortunate, despite what I cope with. I am extremely fortunate. And it's one of the reasons that dressing nice and looking good is so important to me. And oh, one of my legs, the the more worsily, oh, I am tired. The weaker one does drag, and I can trip, and when I walk, that leg can kind of drag if I don't pay attention. So what I learned how to walk properly, like a lady, as a girl. I'm really glad for having been brought up by and surrounded by very old-fashioned ladies who taught me how to be a lady, and that included walking properly and posture. And do you know, it's a very good thing because I've been able to adjust my walking to help not allow that leg to drag or to be aware when it's going to. I think it's very difficult to explain, but it's important. I use a cane sometimes when I need to. If I'm not going to be going very far and I'm having a day where I'm feeling well and less tippy and not tired, and then I don't use it, but I always have it with me just in case because there are times when it's really needed. In fact, I probably should use it all the time, but I don't. I just slow down, adjust my walking, and do things to compensate because it's just important to me. So I really hope that some of you will perhaps post something on your YouTube channel. You don't have to be a polio survivor. You don't have to have a family member who has had polio. Just become aware of it and somehow share about how important immunization is all around the world, that we really need to eradicate this as much as possible. Contrary to what many believe, the lion still roars. So thank you for listening to me. I would like to have done a better job with this. I've done the best I can. I am really quite tired. But thank you again for listening, and please share about polio however you can in your own YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, something. Let's put the awareness out there. And I'm going to post a link to a gentleman who's done a Peter Twaites. Hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Peter. I'm so sorry. Who has a YouTube channel where he shares an excellent little documentary on post polio and polio. So thank you again.